Chinese general Sun Tzu once said in his famous book, The Art of War, that the greatest victory requires no battle. Otherwise, the greatest victory is winning the war without shooting a bullet. So it seems in the war of attrition between Osun State Governor Oyetola and his estranged predecessor, Rauf Aregbesola, the Minister of the Interior, Governor Oyetola won Saturday's governorship primaries of the All Progressive Congress, APC, with an audacious margin, we dare say. Chairman of the Governorship Primary Committee and Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazaq announced Oyetola as winner, having garnered 222,169 votes against his closest challenger, Moshood Adeoti, who got 12,000. He is the candidate of the minister. Now, the other challenger, Yusuf Lasun, got 460 votes to place third. Governor Oyetola won in all the 30 local government areas of the state. We'll share the story filed by TVC News. Is Rauf Hamid. Please watch on.
It was a peaceful exercise in all the 332 wards across the state. Direct primary mode was adopted and members queued behind their preferred candidates at various polling units. From Ward 1 to 9 in Osogbo local government, party faithful trooped out to vote for candidates of their choice. The Senate spokesperson also voted at Ward 7 in Osogbo.
The process is peaceful, and you can see the atmosphere of conviviality and the joy of the party members, and that is the beauty of direct primary, that people coming around to come and own the party and express their preference.
Turnout is very, very great, and the people are anxious to actually come out to and exercise their rights. I think this is a good pointer for us, for the democracy in the state of Osun and in Nigeria in general.
In Aregbesola, the governor, Oyetola, arrived the ward alongside his wife into the waiting arms of members.
Direct primary is the best option because it allows participation by all the members of the party as opposed to the usual delegate system. The improvement is that people are getting used to it. It's rancor-free.
Everyone here is peaceful and conducting this exercise in a very peaceful nature. For me, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing here today.
The situation is the same in Igbajo and Ire, and members commend the process.
If the party members have decided to choose a particular candidate out of the lot, then all the other contestants must, rally round.
The turnout was very, very impressive. That is to tell you that we have party, APC.
The party belongs to all of us, and if a candidate emerges after the process of primary, we should all rally around to support.
In Ilesha and Ife, the turnout is also encouraging.
And I believe that at the end of the day, the primary election will come out good.
After collation of results at the local government level, the final collation was done at the state secretariat of the APC, and local government returning officers presented their results. Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazaq announced the final result and declared Governor Oyetola as the winner. He won in all the local governments in the states.
Abdulrahman Abdulrazaq, Chairman Primary Election Committee, hereby certified that Oyetola, having secured the highest number of votes cast in the Osun Governorship primary elections held on the 19th of February 2022 and met all the requirements as contained in the guidelines for the election is hereby declared winner.
It was jubilation after the declaration of the winner.
This is not a time to engage in any form of acrimony. The reality is that party members across the 302 wards have spoken very loudly that Governor Oyetola should continue in the matter of leadership of the state.
It's a turning point into the July 16th election. I expected all of us to come back to base, review, re-strategize, and bring ourselves together such that we can work together for the coming governorship election in the state.
In his acceptance speech, Governor Oyetola thanked members for their support and promised to consolidate on the achievements already recorded if given another opportunity of 4 years.
For me, we're all winners. I therefore extend my hand of fellowship to the other aspirants to join me as we prepare for the July election. We're all brothers. Let us join hands to build the Osun of our dream. Let us close ranks and eschew bitterness in whatever form. Therefore, may I use this opportunity to also ask our aggrieved members to have a rethink and join hands with us to further strengthen our party and deliver outstanding results at the gubernatorial polls.
It calls on other aspirants to join hands in winning July 16 governorship election. It is the second time direct primary mode will be used to elect the governorship candidate of the party in the state. Rauf Hamid, TVC News, Osogbo.
Thank you, Hamid. Thank you very kindly. You know, meanwhile, the outcome of the Osun State Governorship primaries will conform with the verdict of Babajide here when we discuss the issue on Friday. We'll take you back there just so you appreciate what we are talking about.
From what we read in the media, the kind of support that the traditional rulers, the different party members and the rest have been talking about the governor, and you expect that these people are likely
there's this thinking.
There can only be one direction this thing will go. This election will be similar to the APC primary, governorship primary election in Ekiti. It's just going to be similar because in this kind of situation, big individuals influence the pattern of voting, including at the council level of councillors, state level, wards, and all that. Those structures are in the hands of the incumbent governor. There are 26 persons in the House of Assembly. APC has 23. 2 of the 23 are Aregbesola supporters.
Okay.
The rest are for the governor. Yes. You have the House of Reps, 6 House of Reps members, 2 senators, 1 for the incumbent governor, 1 supporting the former governor. That's Oyetola. You know, you have a place like Ikire, where the finance commissioner comes from, Patricia Ite, you know, the deputy governor is also from Ikire.
The same
Patricia? Yes, and she's a supporter of Oyetola. You know how you're made, you know, popular and powerful female politician, you know. She's also from Ikire and supporting the governor. There can be only one direction that this victory, this pendulum of victory will swing.
Adekunle, you know, Jide is some kind of a prophet, in a manner of speaking. So it's gone that way. But what is striking for me is the fact that in the APC camp, no reference or references were made to what the Minister of the Interior said. It was all mum. Keep them guessing.
Well, you saw what Jide said, that in this kind of election, it can only be one direction. Governors at every state level, governors,
incumbent.
The government governors are in charge of the party. Those who are making reference to somebody, you know, experience, they didn't get it right. You need to have a person in the caliber of Asiwaju in any state that would do something similar. Okay. That's not in Osun. And I don't know of any state in Nigeria where you have that. You get my point? What happened under Ambode, during Ambode, can only happen in Lagos. It can't happen anywhere.
Nowhere.
So anybody that is in, it's not going to work. If I were here that day, I would say the same thing. That it is impossible. I didn't know why people put, I didn't even think about it because it cannot, nothing can happen. Primary of state governors, Nigerian state governors are not what many people think. And here is a man who has been there 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, going to 4 years. Even if he didn't, even if he was a stranger in the state before he became governor, he will have become one of them. You get my point? The entire party structure with him.
Otherwise, if you're doubt, ask Aregbe himself.
So those who are now saying, I don't think, I didn't expect anything different.
Okay.
I didn't expect anything. But I will go with, just as people are, I go with the message of the governor. Because the victory is not here yet. This is just primary. I'm not expecting any upset. If they do it 10 times, whether they do direct primary or the indirect primary, the governor will pick the ticket. Normally, if not for little improvements in our politics, nobody will expect you to be doing this kind of primary for an incumbent governor. You get my point? So you see this rancorous, you see all the controversy. This was unnecessary. I expect the party to close ranks, just as the governor said, so that they can face the big challenge. The big challenge is,
and that's what we mean by being magnanimous in victory.
Yes.
But this is not the real deal. The real deal is still ahead.
Yes, I think July.
July 16 was the election day. Many people thought, given the bad blood that characterized the campaigns leading to the primary election, that maybe there will be an upset or something. As you have seen, I said it on Friday that Ilesha, for example, will be a battleground because some of the governor's best supporters are from there. And the person who stood up to say, look, Mr. Governor, we don't want you to come back, is also from there. So, so a point has to be made. And they were ready for it. A point has to be made. You can imagine in Ilesha East, where when Rauf Aregbesola comes from, there were some very strong supporters of the governor from there. And I'm not surprised that the governor won easily in the minister's ward. And it's the same pattern everywhere else. Where you go to Ikire and you find the finance minister is from there, your Medina is from there, and some other heavyweights. How do you defeat the governor in a place like that? Or you go to Ife to say you want to defeat the governor when Omishore is his supporter. He has not lost any election in Ife since 1999. And he remains strong. Not just that he has not won since 1999, he has not lost. He remains a factor in the politics of Ife land. And everywhere the governor is going, you see Omishore sitting in front. He's sending a message that I'm behind this man. He is one of the reasons people are convinced that even the next governorship election in that state will still be won by this man, because the vote from Ife is usually significant. And in the past, the APC had struggled to do well in that area because of Omishore. Yes, even when Omishore contested for the governorship, the quantum of votes from that area was significant. Now that, for a rival party, now that is in the APC, of course, you can predict that the votes from Ife are already locked down. Except something unheard of happens. It's just like thinking of defeating the late Akala in Ogbomoso land. It's unheard of. Until he died, he was by far the biggest politician from there and undefeatable.
So yes, the only person bigger than Alawakala in Womaso was Ladoke Akintola. By history. Yes, by history. Akala was a colossus in that part of the state for a very long time.
May God rest his soul.
From local government chairman to everything. But now coming back to Osun, some of the analysis Jide was doing, Osun is a very complex, state in terms of politics. And what the other parties may bring, we don't know. And who their candidates, deputy and whatever will be, we don't know.
So it also depends on who candidates from the other parties will feel.
Yes, it is. In election, our own thing, son of the soil, daughter of the soil, we do it a lot in our politics. You get my point? For example, he was talking about Ife. If per chance maybe the other party picks their candidate from there, that will alter a lot of things. You get my point? Or one of the candidates, there will be two, running mate and the candidate. So, but for now, I'm happy with the attitude of the governor. There's no need to close. We need for all these aggrieved people.
Yeah.
Believe me, I don't know of any crisis that cannot be resolved. I don't know of any human being that cannot be managed.
They are all man-made.
They need, because today they may be fighting. Tomorrow they may see reason to come together. We have seen a lot in that state. When Aregbesola was fighting Oyetola in that state, many people would never believe that they would see eye to eye. But Aregbesola won eventually. Second time, it was almost difficult for Aregbesola to win second time. They had to reach out to the same Oyetola they fought for for many years. And Oyetola was extremely helpful during the second time. Everybody was shocked that your number one political enemy in the state. So it goes on. Okay, look at Omishore that Jide was talking about. Omishore was not in the camp of, Asiwaju, Oyetola and Co. But today, he was in the fold. You get my point? I don't believe they can't, mend defenses. No, they can still. Because the APC needs a united, front. Don't let anybody deceive you. The PDP is still strong in Osun. Don't accept if anybody wants to be, the PDP still remains very strong in Osun. So you need a united front to be able to face whoever emerges from any party. You get my point? You can use your achievement to sell, but despite all that, you need the entire family, the entire fold to be able to confront the enemy. The political enemy, I mean, not real enemy.
But there are some enemies or some people refuse to be reconciled. You see, we've given the examples of people in northern Nigeria, for example, who would never agree to be on the same party. Once one enters a party, the other leaves. Kwankwaso and Shekarau, Atahiru Bafarawa and Magataka Dawamako, they can't be in the same party. That is a fact. In fact, you could predict that if this person goes to this party, this is what will happen. And it always happens. There are some people who have chosen not to forgive one another in politics. I don't know how they are going to resolve the conflict between Oyetola and Aregbesola. I think too that party leaders should have done a better job of managing both men before things got this bad, because things have become so bad. No one is saying it's impossible. I know some moves are being made now, even to reach out to both transport.
I'm sure with an Asiwaju, you will see what will happen. Because
but there was a meeting in Baba Konde's home in Ilanogun where this man,
I understand,
Asiwaju was also there. Asiwaju was also there.
Before that one, there were meetings, but now you will see that a lot can still be achieved because the time is still there. And
it's almost 5 months.
As at yesterday night, a lot of big, powerful Nigerians, are getting involved. And no matter how big you are, you still have one or two people that you respect, that you will not be able to say no to. Yeah. Such people have not been involved. Now they are getting involved. I'm 100% sure. Believe me, let's be honest. The two of them are losers in this. If they're fighting, don't let anybody win anybody's. No, the two, they are better together. If anybody is saying this, you win today. There is life after government. Aregbesola is experiencing now. This man will also finish 8 years by God's grace, and he will also live. They will realize that tomorrow there's another reason for them to come in. Yeah. So why must you do self-assured? I mean, mutual destruction. It doesn't work. Yeah. They've gone to a point in life that you can disagree, but you must not fight dirty. I know they don't need to fight.
But it is when people fight dirty that it becomes difficult to resolve.
Yeah, and begs the question of why are you in politics if not to better the lot of the people who look up to you?
A lot of our politicians are not in politics to better the lot of. They are in politics for themselves. They are in politics for themselves, and they know what they are doing. Yeah. And for some people, they are driven almost to the point of perdition by their ego. Their ego drives them to the point that even when they see a moving train,
they go against it.
They keep going, like a bull goes after the matador. So, but in politics, there has to be flexibility. People must stay humble because there's always room for misunderstandings to be resolved. We see people move from APC to PDP sometimes because of disagreement.
Yeah.
Oyetola, for example, that opted to work for the APC then, it was because he was mistreated in the PDP. So sometimes when you mistreat someone, he then says, okay, let me see, okay, you treated me badly, okay, I'm going to work for the enemy to make it pay you more. Yeah. So this is what they do to themselves in politics. But we have appealed, even before now in this program, we said they should try to resolve this issue. It's better for them to resolve the issue. But politicians, sometimes I've had the politicians say, look, nobody can tell me that I have to make this concession to this person. But when you are in negotiation and you are rigid about it, you are not going to go far. So on both sides, it's just similar to what's going on in Kano. Ganduje has claimed Shekarau's scalp now, based on the last judgment in court. But they've got to find a way to work together.
Yeah.
They've got to find a way to work together so that the party remains strong in the state. If they fail to work together, the PDP will, in fact, will be praying that their crisis should remain, so that they can eventually win. So this is the thing. I want to see Ogbeni Rauf return and his supporters and the supporters of the governor come together once again and work for the party that gave them fame and name. This is what we want to see, because even the violence that we've experienced some months back is all because of the disagreement between both parties, and their supporters are always watching them. Where you and I choose to work together and see ourselves as friends is a direct message to our supporters to behave themselves as well. But if we are attacking ourselves using fighting words against one another, we are telling our supporters that, look, be hostile towards one another. I mean, politics is supposed to be much better than that.
We are joined this Sunday by Sunday. He's calling from Ewekoro. Sunday, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Mr. Babajide, because this issue of politics, it's like there are some things that people are doing for selfish interest. How come Bonu was able to manage themselves. I saw Shetima just of recent moving with Baba Zulu. How come are they managing it that other states cannot do it? Look at what is happening in Ogun State. Look at how things went. So I want to ask, how are they managing all those things there that we cannot manage here?
It's a simple question to answer. Both men are my friends. I can tell you that Senator Shetima deliberately makes effort to not share the limelight with the governor. Senator Shetima today is still the biggest politician in Borno State. I can tell you, he's the biggest politician in Borno State, very influential. But when he's coming into the state, he does it on a low-key level so that you don't see a large crowd following him and all that. And when he's addressing people, he will say, my governor, my leader. That is a person that he installed as governor. Yeah. He calls him his leader. That's what he calls him. Humility. So that humility is there. He is doing his best to not ruffle feathers. There was a time when he said, look, Zulum is better than me. No matter how good I was as a governor, Governor Zulum is better than me by far. He says that publicly. People see him say that. They see that he's doing his best to manage his governor very well, because power is intoxicating. There's a former governor of Lagos who said something. I won't mention that governor. The former governor. He said, for you to know how intoxicating power can be, give your own son power. We've seen children topple their parents now. Even the Arab world, parents, a boy chased away his father and installed himself as president. So you have to be able to manage people. When somebody has become governor, even if you are the one who put him there, give him some space. Give him some space.
Power will be nothing without control.
Yeah, give him some space. The moment you appear like you want to take his decisions for him, this is where fight usually starts.
Yeah.
He may not fight you the first time. If he gets the second time, you are in trouble. That is what Ochendo Global, former governor of Abia State, did to Audacious Okalu and his mom. They were controlling him the whole of first time. I said what he wanted to do was in his belly. Immediately he got the second time. He turned against a man who campaigned for him when he was in prison. Okay. And one election, he turned against him. So people must learn from these things. Once you allow that person to, just give that person space. But he will respect you, and both of you will continue to work together. But once you want to continue to take the decision, or they are seeing you are moving around with siren, you come into the state, you are still behaving like the sitting governor, you people are going to quarrel. This is what Kashim Shettima refuses to do.
Yeah, and you see individual differences. Sometimes the issues are also different. Look at the case of Gombe. The governor and the senator, they don't see eye to eye now. The former governor and the
was his commissioner. So no, it's just power. Struggle for power.
From state to state, the issues are not the same.
But if you can't, you need to manage people very well.
You need to manage without control. Power is extremely intoxicating. Sometimes it is the man that has just left office, the predecessor, that is the problem. Sometimes it's the successor that is the problem.
Yes.
So the issues are not the same, and the stories are different.
Sometimes both of them.
But sometimes both, yes.
Yeah.
And when two adults fight, I always say both of them are wrong. No, the moment two adults fight dirty, the two of them are wrong.
But how many people are using the Kashim Shettima trick?
Not
many people.
Wisdom is not.
And the guy knows,
he
knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Power and wisdom, two different things.
Yes. There are people who have power, but they don't have wisdom. So they won't manage the power very well.
But who will not want to have a successor like Professor Zulu? The achievement is even making the senator, that is the former governor, is making him even proud.
He did not listen to me. He did not begin to achieve from his first day in office. I'm telling you, during his 100 days in office, I was there. I'm telling you that he had been managing him like that from the first day. He didn't wait for him to start recording successes.
Yeah.
He made up his mind that this person, of course, he was his commissioner for RRR. He knew he could do it, given all that he did as commissioner, you know. But sometimes what is in our heart, we don't know. The other person does not know.
The governor, a professor, he can be inundated or inebriated, be
by
drunk
power.
on power.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
But he decides
he's been properly managed.
That's it.
This has been properly managed.
That's it.
You know, and both of them have regard for one another.
Yeah.
You know, so we need to manage people properly. There are some people that you will be able to manage, but I will not be able to manage because the patience you have, I don't have.
Okay.